Experience, quality, consistency, and the quickest turnaround times in the grading industry? We are proud to partner with SGC Grading. Check them out at www.gosgc.com.
Hi, I'm Danny Black.
And I'm John Newman.
Welcome to Card Mensches. I'm Danny Black, and you're John Newman. They just told us that. Welcome to Card Mensches, episode 32. We are talking hobby superstitions and traditions, which is a topic that I think was a fantastic idea, whoever thought of it. I think it was a group effort. How are you doing?
All right, not too bad. Superstitions is, maybe too strong a word, but like routines, or you do a certain thing the same way all the time.
What's up, Orlando?
When it comes to hobby stuff. So,
well,
Batman and Robin of the cover. I like that. Dynamic duo.
What's up, Dylan? So, this came from the fact that Series 1 came out, and how many people make Series 1 opening, on release day or very soon thereafter is part of their hobby schedule or hobby tradition. That's where the conversation starts.
Yeah, this guy does right here.
You do.
Who has two thumbs and does that?
This guy.
This guy.
Yes, we are streaming on multiple channels.
2 channels. We're like 2 chains? No, we're on like 12 channels in NBC.
Well, NBC was a tough deal. Orlando says 3 channels. We won't give up the real number. Hello, Steven.
Hey, Dr. Mayer.
So, just for the people in the room, can you guys have any traditions that you want to share? Does anybody actually open? Did they open Series 1? Ruben, is John over his sickness? Is he lost his legs?
It's on. I'm feeling a lot better. I got a little cold still hanging on, but I'm not complaining. Tuesday and Wednesday, I missed school. I'm a guy that doesn't call out of work, and I was in bad shape. So I wasn't. I thought I had COVID. Quite frankly, I took a couple tests, negative, no fever, just a real. My wife thinks it was a quick flu. So, but as Elton John says, I'm still standing. Yeah.
From the Beastie Boys to Elton John in one answer.
You never know. You just don't know.
There was one answer. Has anybody opened up Series 1? Let me rephrase it because it's still early enough. I did a break today, I'll admit, just to kind of get a feel for the cards. I guess not get a feel for the cards, but watch other people feel the cards. But you actually opened a box.
I did. Our friend Nick Brower, AAN Collect, he's we had to meet up anyway. He had to pick up his his customers sub through me through SGC. He's kind of the middle store man. So we, as tradition, speaking of tradition, we meet sort of halfway because he's about 55 minutes. So we meet halfway after he closes the store, and I give him his graded cards for his customers. Well, I knew he had the new flagship, and I'm like, hey, let me snag a box, and that's a tradition. So I opened my first pack in 1979, guys. But the first time I opened actually a full box of cards was 1980 tops, and so since 1980, I've always opened at least in the bare minimum 1 box of Topps flagship. Even in the years where I kind of wasn't doing a ton of hobby stuff, I had 3 or 4 years where I sort of went dormant. I still sort of bought a box, ripped it open, and just kept the cards in the box sort of thing when not did too much. So it's the 44th year in a row that I guess you could say I opened at least 1 full box of Topps. It's kind of cool. And I'll be honest with you, this was one of my better boxes of those 44 years, at least that I can remember. Some of those years there were no, as we all know, right, parallels and colors cards. So this was probably one of my better value in terms of, if you're into that sort of thing, one of my better value, returns on what I had into the box, if you will.
You're being very cryptic.
Well, you want me to show cards? All right. You don't have to ask me twice.
I'm just saying, you don't hit on cards often. While you're pulling that, Doctor says
I got them right here.
Buy a box of Series 1, but I do buy a complete top set most years. Steve, I think that's a lot of people do that.
That counts.
Yeah.
All right, I'll save the better one for a second. I'll show 2 cards. Obviously, I'm not going to show all the cards and make this. I'm going to post a video of the opening of the box itself. So you know what I like, Danny.
I like
that. I like that acetate.
You cannot lie.
Yeah, I like acetate, and I can't lie. That's the clear parallels. These are numbered to 10. This is 4 out of a 10. It's Jake Fraley of the Cincinnati Reds. Not the greatest player, but not bad either. Could be worse. So that was pretty cool. These are obviously a tough pull. Even the nobodies, if you will, of the clear cuts bring some coin just because of how low printed they are. And I'm going to post the video of me opening this box here in the next couple days. I haven't posted it yet. So there's one autograph or memorabilia card per box. And so there's only 20 packs in the box this year. So I got into the 17th, 18th pack. And I'm like, haven't hit the mem or I'm like, maybe I'm just going to get the clear cut and they're going to count that as the mem or even though it's not really, maybe that's the trade-off. So the 19th pack out of the 20th, I pulled this. And if you watch the video, I initially do not know what it's numbered to. I go back and retrace my step, but it's Mason Wynn. I know it's the glare and it's a Mason Wynn, the 89 retro parallel auto. It's the red version. And for those that don't know, Mason Wynn, he's the number 43 prospect on the top 100 Major League Baseball prospect list. Pretty good player for the St. Louis Cardinals. And when I first got it, I kind of flipped it over real quick, and it's hard to see, but it's numbered. You probably won't even see it there.
Yeah.
But it's numbered to 25. So this is 6 out of 20 or 4 out of 25.
Take your word for
it. And so, yeah. And this card, even my reaction during I don't really get overexcited when I open up, anyway. I'm not one of those, boom, let's go. I'm not one of those guys. So you're not going to get
like Emerald Lagasse.
I would be. I'm not a breaker, and it's a good thing because I'd be a bad one. They'd be like, hey, Mason Wynn auto 25. Congrats, Jimmy in Des Moines, Iowa. That would be it. I wouldn't be going crazy. You don't want to see me in a half shirt. There's a lot of good reasons I'm not a breaker. So if you watch this video, that's not out yet. It's a pretty nonchalant reaction for what this card actually is. And when I looked it up kind of on eBay, these things are going for pretty good coin. So,
congratulations.
Not a bad box. And then there was a bunch of Ellie De La Cruz. It was a good box overall. Jason Dominguez rookies. I'm trying to think. I did not get an Ohtani or a Soto Yankees card. So,
isn't that a short print parallel? Is that what
people are saying that they have not pulled them and that Topps is pulling a fast one. I don't know. I didn't get one at any of those.
I haven't seen one yet, but I've only heard about it. I've been a little bit tied up, but I'm trying to catch up on the flagship. I like the look of it this year.
I will tell you this. I'm glad you said that, Danny. So when Topps releases the spec sheet, And I like the design then, right? The neon lights.
Mm-hmm.
But the pictures do not do the cards justice when you see them in person. Every card has a metallic and foil sort of sheen to them. They did a good job. We can bag on top sometimes for this or that, and deservedly so, and sometimes self-inflicted on their part. The design this year, they got it right. I really dig it. It's fire, as the kids say. I don't even think they say that anymore.
I think it's going to end up being like the 75 set, where it's going to look dated in a decade, maybe, but very cool right now.
Yeah. You know what it reminded me of? And I'm not saying like looks exactly like it. It just not the card stock, just the front design of it. It just brought me a little bit back to that 86 Tops year of opening that. So sort of 86 Tops. Obviously, 86 Tops didn't have any of that, the foil features and that sort of thing. But I was pleasantly surprised seeing it in person, or an opening in person for the first time. And I can be pretty critical. I think people who know me, know I kind of call it like I see it. I was impressed with the design. The backs, I don't know if I have any base cards around here, but the backs are nice too. They're nice, they're glossy, and they're white.
Yep. And so they do have this first card parallel. I don't believe those.
I gotta look. Hey, do we want to spend 20 minutes in the show and I can go look if I got any first cards?
No.
Is that exciting?
No? You can do that. You can do that afterwards. It'll be a separate private showing. I believe those are just stamped as a short print for guys. I don't believe they're numbered. Am I correct on that?
No, I don't think they're numbered. They just have the first card logo or wording around the team logo. So how many of those? Like, they made 4 1-of-1s on some of the other. How many first cards are there? Like 10 of each player? I'm just kidding.
Well, I will say that I did a break, so I haven't gotten the cards yet. But I noticed that the 89 inserts, that this card looked so much visually better than the 89s. that that I just thought I think it's a sharp looking set. So that's one of for each of us. It seems to be a hobby tradition to get to flagship.
Some people probably don't like this. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers some other people. There are a lot of horizontal cards in this set. So if you're a fan of just the up and down traditional vertical shot, there's probably 35. There's probably 35-40% of the cards are vertical cards. So I know certain people don't like that. They're not going to like that because this is heavy. Heavier than what I think they traditionally do as far as horizontal shot cards.
Well, Dylan says he wants more portraits and not everything to be an action shot. So I appreciate
and here's the thing.
I have to,
is I'd ask Dylan, is he want that more or less reserved for Stadium Club, so he doesn't want Topps flagship to kind of steal from what we love about Stadium Club? Because I get that. If he says yes, I get that. I won't argue with that. Because I saw a lot of action shots in this, and I said, man, this has sort of a Stadium Club feel without the gloss and the embossing. But I kind of like it. I don't dislike it as much as Dylan does. But I wonder if that's where the place he's coming from. And if it is, well, to each his own, right? Opinions are not wrong. Just facts can be. So I get it.
Like, you know what? Everybody's got one.
Yeah. Not everybody. There's some medical cases.
Dylan says in response, no, I just love portrait shots like 58 Tops.
Yeah, I get it. And he ain't the only one. I'll stick up for Dylan. I'd stick up for him anyway because I like him. But I get that. I don't love horizontal shots, and maybe there is too many in this particular, first series release, but they're in there, and there's a lot of like outfielders going back to the wall and stealing an extra base hit or a home run or climbing the wall, which is kind of cool, but I get it. I sort of look at it as like they're taking a page out of their stadium club blueprint and they're putting it into the flagship. Is that good, bad? You like? I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I love Stadium Club, so I guess it doesn't bother too much. I guess I could complain more that sometimes flagship can be too boring sometimes. So, I guess it depends on the day.
Well, it depends. You can be sure any day. Not
a sponsor.
All right, so that's one we share, and that's kind of how this whole conversation kicked off. Dylan says, "Can't wait till 2024 Heritage." I know a lot of people who feel.
Rich Klein. He's not. I don't think he's here, but he loves Dylan for that comment.
Orlando says that he likes the design, but too many horizontal cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think there is too many. It doesn't. It doesn't ruin it for me, but yeah, there's a lot of them. If you're a set guy and so you're trying to put the cards like in order, you got to keep flipping them. And I will tell you this: if you haven't opened it yet, and if you watch the video, anything that has like numbered or whatever is going to be reversed. You'll know like you have something because it's in the middle of the pack and the opposite way. So it's sort of a dead giveaway that you have something.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, what something is Tops and I don't always agree in definition. But just by side loaders, you'll be fine.
They make those. They make those things.
You get them from they're big in Japan.
Yeah,
that's true. I'm not making that up.
And overseas too.
Well, as soon as Japan moves there, we'll tell them. Stadium Club is amazing indeed. A lot of people. I've been so many people talking up Stadium Club recently. It's very, very funny.
I love Stadium. Here's the crazy thing, though.
No love in the secondary.
I love Stadium Club. Is my favorite Tops release, but yet I don't open a box of it every year. I try to, but I can't say I have that streak like I do with the flagship. Don't ask me why. I just
do you even seek out singles of Stadium Club?
Oh, yeah. Like that Corbin. If you've seen the 2023 Stadium Club Corbin Carroll, I posted it on my social media. That's just an incredible card. It's a rookie card, which adds to the flavor, if you ask me. But even if it wasn't his rookie, that's a great shot of the pitcher. The ball's on its way to him, so it's not even to the catcher yet. You see Corbin Carroll's locked in on it. You see the catcher's face locked in at the umpire. It's just a great shot, and that's really what Stadium Club is known for. And then you get the foil, and then embossing, the glossiness, and the only thing missing from Stadium Club is a little more acetate, and then I'd be all in.
You never have enough acetate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're 20 minutes in and we haven't started our list yet, so we might as well start the show.
All right.
All right. So I'll go first just to throw it out here.
Okay.
I like to, when I am meeting somebody in the hobby for a business meeting or a friend who I know is a collector, I like to bring a pack of cards and break a pack of cards with people when I meet them over a meal. So that's one of my little traditions. It's fun. Everybody likes opening a pack of cards. It's a great way to break the ice or break bread with people. So that's something that's one of my dorky little.
Is it just people in the hobby? Or do you do that just in general?
I probably do it a lot more than just hobby people, but not everybody is pack worthy.
And please tell me you didn't buy a bunch of like triple play. Remember triple play on closeout, and that's the packs you bring.
Oh,
'Cause
absolutely.
that would be a quick business meeting. I'd be like, check, please.
The quality of the pack does sometimes go up and down depending on what the meeting is. But don't be,
It's like cigars. Sometimes you have Cubans, and
yes,
sometimes you just have like, you know,
the ones rolled down the
Mama's
street.
Corner Shop.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a fun way to hang out with people. I think it's a fun way to meet them and break
I
the
like
ice.
that.
So that's something that it's a little tradition I have. So that's my first one.
All right. One of the things I used to do, I don't believe I do it anymore. Actually, I know I don't do it anymore. But for many years, and don't ask me why. I don't have like a you know, you do things and someone, hey, why do you do that? I don't know. I just do it. I used to open my packs clockwise. So most boxes obviously have 4 rows, right? You got top left, top right, bottom left. So I'd always start top left, go to the top right, bottom left, back up to top left, and just go like that. Now I'm probably sometimes I'll just take them all out of the box and stack them up and just rip them open. But back in the day, I used to open them up what we would call clockwise.
And
No reason other than maybe a little OCD in there. You know, I don't know. I don't have a, you know, maybe is there a pattern on collation? Is, you know, I don't even remember because I really haven't done it. This was more of a back in the day thing for me. So not anymore.
okay.
Did anyone
How
else
about,
do that? Like I can't be the only one that
let's
opened this pack.
yeah.
Any counterclockwise pack openers out there?
Is this like toilet paper upside down or right side up?
That's really, it's the baseball pack equivalent of
Right,
the
exactly.
toilet paper over the top or under the bottom.
And Ruben, yes, if you buy me breakfast, I'll get you a pack of 87 tops.
There you go. That's how it all
Absolutely.
starts.
I have a rule. If I go to a local card shop for the first time, I think it's appropriate to buy a pack of cards. I think it's almost good a nice way to visit a store for the first time. I think it's good etiquette.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll try to buy something. I try not to like go to a store, kind of go in there and then walk out without making some sort of purchase. I'm not gonna say I've never done it because I know that's not true, but I try to. And plus, that's no fun, right? If you go to a store in the first place, you want to pick something up, right? Whether it be a
Yeah,
box, a pack, a card out of a bargain box. So I'll agree with you, but not limited to a pack. I try to
fair enough.
buy something. I try to give them something out of my wallet, whether it's $5 or $100. You know what I mean? So I try to make a sale for the, you know, showing up at the shop.
Absolutely. Definitely. Was that what you have on your list?
That's one of them. You know this one. I've gone away from this, and it hurts to say. I'm a little, you know, because it took me 3 weeks to set it up. But some of you know I still set up at shows, and so my show inventory. It took me 3 weeks to do it. All my stuff was in alphabetical order, and it still sort of is, but not the way it was. I've kind of veered off that. Um, a little, two things, probably a little OCD in there, and it was just really doing that. It was easy to find cards. If you say, "Hey, what do you got for Bryce Harper, John?" I could go to the H's and pull out Bryce Harper's in like 2 minutes and hand you a stack of Bryce Harper's. It just made things quicker. What became difficult, and my son used to help me at shows. He stopped helping me at shows because of this. Because when it was time to pack up, I'd also have to pack up in alphabetical order, and I was the last guy out of the building. And my son's like, "Dad, just throw the stuff in the box. Let's go, man. Let's get out of here." And I'm like, "No, dude, we've got to pack this up in alphabetical order, like it was." And he stopped. I'm not, he stopped coming to the shows and helping me because we were just there too long. I don't do it. I don't want to say it's not in alphabetical order, but not to the stringency that it used to be. I pack up a lot quicker, and I have it more in kind of showcase order rather than just. It's not in true alphabetical order.
Here you go, an idea for your next show. Steven says you should have a showcase just for cards that were top left from the box.
Left Twix, right? Can you imagine? I say someone, hey, it's a $25 card. Hey, John, will you take $20? No, that came from the top left back. I can't do it.
Yeah, this one came from the bottom right. I can
do a little bit. I can do a little bit better on that one for you.
Right. That's funny. Okay. Every year, and you made fun of me last year, and the player I picked was not successful, but I like to pick one Oriole and one non-Oriole, and I buy a Bowman first. And it's my fun. I don't buy a lot of modern. Last year, my non-Oriole was Kyle Lewis. I had high hopes for that knee. I really thought we were onto something. Didn't work out for Kyle and I last year. So this year, I will have another Oriole and non-Oriole to pick. I don't know who it's going to be yet, but I will buy the Bowman first for two guys. And that's a tradition, something I try to do every year.
You don't know who the Oriole's going to be?
I'm not 100% finalized yet. Pitchers and catchers just reported, so.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm high on Jordan Westberg having a breakout year this year. He's somebody who could be under the radar.
Yeah. I hope so. I pulled a couple out of that box I just opened, so.
Yeah, we'll see. He has a chance to start at third. All right, over to you, Mr. Newman.
All right. A lot of them, because I don't open as much product as I once did. A lot of my stuff is like dealer stuff and show stuff. So even when I set up at a show, and I'm sure most dealers this isn't probably odd. It's just the way I do it. Like obviously I put tablecloths out first, put my showcases out. I have a same method. If you watch me set up at the show, it would be like watching the same movie over and over again. I just, it's like someone who puts their left sock on all before their right sock every time. I kind of do the show equivalent of that. I have a sort of a staging the way I set up at a show. So a friend of mine that I do a lot of shows with, without me saying anything, he goes, dude, I've been watching you, and it's like clockwork the way you do it. And I just do it that way, and I think I've always have. And I may change it, but when I change it, whatever way I change to, I stay with it until I change it again. It's not where I just do it randomly each time. So that's another one.
I asked, are collectors all OCD? Because I think we are some degree.
I think there's a little bit. I think there's a little bit of that.
Warren agrees. Says I think they are to some degree. Yeah, and that's a good thing. We like our stuff organized. We like to be able to find it. Ruben is in on Paul Skeens. I mean, one part of the fun for me is maybe slipping a little bit under the budget radar. Also, Skeens is I might need to trade John's his win. You like that? Your win.
It was a win.
I know. That's why I thought it was witty. Warren says he's hoping that Shane Bieber and Tristan McKenzie make huge comebacks. You know what?
I love Tristan McKenzie. Brett, so that's a tradition. If I can, I used to not buy like prospected pitchers.
Yeah, well, what's she gonna do? It's after 9:30.
I used to not like tell people don't buy pitchers or don't invest The bad I word. Don't invest in pitchers. And then I did that with Hunter Green and Tristan McKenzie. And they both had spots where they look good. And I think I'm still holding out hope. I love both of those guys. I think they have too many tools and they throw, if they can stay healthy. I know it's the old cliche, right? But I think they're legit pitchers if they can stay on the bump and pitching rather than on the disabled list. So,
I mean, I was going to make fun of you that I remembered that I bought Kyle Lewis last year. So
I remembered having that conversation with you. Like, what are you doing, man?
I told you I felt like I was going to take a chance. I felt good about it.
Yeah.
See, I don't give into peer pressure right away. Yeah. I should have listened to you.
Yeah.
Warren says, I've been looking for my Desert Shield Will Clark for 3 damn days. I had to move it to another box by accident. I may have to stuff Jim Martinis when working on cards.
No, you don't. You just have to remember where you put the card.
This is the Kyle Lewis year. Well, let's hope so, because nobody bought that card last year.
No, it's not. And where is he? Is he still in Seattle? Like, where is
he? Was Arizona last year, but I think he's a free agent. He's probably on a minor league deal somewhere.
It's not where in the world. It's not where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. It's like where in the world is Kyle Lewis?
If anybody knows where Kyle Lewis is, please please report this to the nearest authority. All right, I have one general superstition or tradition. I guess it's more of a tradition that I think you kind of know about, but I don't say specifically. Every year at the National, I try to pick a new PC project, something for the year, because in the hobby, you're not always going to find the cards that you want, or they're not always the cards you can afford when you're working on something, a project. But if you got several projects,
I like James Wynn's last comment there.
Yeah. Where's Kyle Lewis? He's on Suicide Watch. Just kidding.
I hope rather than that, I hope he's like a stunt double on Suicide Squad. Like one of
I hope he's getting healthy and having a breakout year, because I got a purple auto anyway. So I try to start a new PC project every year, or I pick a group of players that I think are good buys for the year, and I go after it. It's a fun thing for me to do, but I do make that a goal to have it in place for the National. I've done. The Koufax base set was definitely one I was working on. There were some singles last year that I wanted to attack. This year, I've got the expanded Koufax run I'm working on. So, who knows? A client of mine gave me a great idea to work on family runs. Maybe I'll do the Ripken family run and do the Bill Ripken, Cal Ripken Sr. runs.
That's kind of cool. It has the Baltimore flavor to it. I get it.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Even Jackie Robinson. I don't have every Jackie Robinson card as much as he's my idol. I'm not gonna sit there and lie. I don't have them all. I got the Leaf, which was my grail, and I have 3 or 4 or 5 of the other ones. So I have some. If I ever want to do it, you know what I mean. I have 3 or 4 more to fill in as far as like
that's a lot more of a commitment than Cal Senior. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a little more cost.
Yeah.
Costly, if you will. So cost prohibitive, which is probably why I haven't done it fully like that. One thing I don't have is a Jackie Auto. Would love to at someday get a Jackie Auto. But not yet. Not yet anyway. I don't own one yet.
All right. So do you have
another? Yeah. I think that this probably most people would probably agree and probably do this too. So I store my cards by the holders they're in. So in other words, all my graded cards are together and all my non-graded cards are all in semi-rigids. And then all my soft sleeve cards are together. So they're not really mixed unnecessarily, especially the graded card. You won't find like a graded card and then semi-rigids and then another graded card. It's like, when you're a kid and you eat and you're like, you didn't want your corn to get into the mashed potatoes and you kept them separate. I do that with what protectors or what,
So
the
do you
card.
change the protector or move the card?
Well, at one point, my stuff was obviously like most people in top loaders, and then I converted to all my stuff that's not slabbed or in like mag tights or in semi rigid. So, in my like team boxes and stuff, those would be soft sleeves, and then $5 cards to like $40 cards would be semi rigids, and then $50 cards and up will be mag tights, and then obviously graded cards are graded cards, and they're in slabs, and so that's kind of the method to my madness. But I typically don't intermingle them. It's like tribes, so nothing should infiltrate one of the other ones. Like, what are you doing here? You're in the wrong box.
Ruben says that if you're this over the top with your collection, he'd like to see your classroom organization.
I'm gonna be. Listen, I not more so the older I get. When I was younger, not as much. It's kind of a skill. I mean, even behind me, I don't know if I have a glass board that's right here that's for the content creation and like Sports Card Nation. It has my next 3 months kind of all mapped out, like guests, hobby quick hits, topics, episodes, that sort of thing. So I can kind of see what I got coming up, and so I'm organized to probably to a flaw almost. I guess it's a good it's
Is it a
good trait to have.
Or is that,
I to other people that might say, man, you're way too over analytical. You're like you're taking it way too serious, or I don't know, way too serious. I'm a pretty jokey kind of guy, but you're like getting really, I don't know what the word is, but you're thinking about it way too much. You know what I mean? So,
do you put all the kids that wear Nikes in the top left of the room?
I couldn't do that if I tried. So,
James says he likes that you're serious about it. Well, you are as a dealer.
Yeah, like I don't know. I always try to find stuff quick, right? With my eyesight, the older I get, like I do have glasses. I don't wear them all the time. I probably should wear them more than I actually do. I try to be organized where it's easier to find, and so I do stuff sort of like that. And it just saves me time. I'm a time guy. Every day I have less time left on the planet, so I try to save as much of it as I can. Deep thoughts with John Newman.
I'm telling you, you're making this emotional.
So
James has a very deep system. All the football with the football, all the baseball with the baseball.
Yeah, and same here.
Yep.
What do you do though? I'll ask this question to James and anyone else that does the same thing. What do you do with like Michael Jordan baseball cards and Michael Jordan basketball cards?
It's all what they're wearing on the card.
So the Michael Jordan Upper Deck baseball cards will be with the baseball cards and the
correct.
Michael. Okay. Yeah, I get that. I don't. Listen, Michael Jordan's known as a basketball player predominantly, so Michael Jordan cards are just in with my basketball section.
Jordan's probably his own section, let's be honest.
Yeah. But even Bo Jackson, my Bo Jacksons are all together, baseball and football.
Greatest two-sport athlete ever. Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Jim Thorpe, Babe Dietrichson.
Well, you've heard my Deion Sanders story. I'm not gonna. That thing's a little bit long.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. But
the elevator Deion story.
I don't know. I think those four are on my Mount Rushmore of multi-sport players. That might be my PC this year. I might go after
DuBose.
all.
Not a bad idea. That's not
Yeah,
a bad idea.
Yeah, the multi-sport players. I'm not going after Danny Ainge though. His Blue Jays card.
Well, you know, there's more too, man. There's more. We forget Chuck Connors. I got to mention Chuck Connors, Brooklyn Dodger, Boston Celtic, Rifleman, you know, we just lost Carl Weathers from predominantly Rocky fame. A lot of people don't realize he played in the NFL for a couple seasons. He has cards, not a lot, but he has some cards. And there's a lot of guys. Fred Dwyer, I know I'm leaving. Alex Carr, you know, I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm leaving people out. So, you know, that's a good kind of a way to collect. Not a bad little side project if someone was to do that.
That's what makes the hobby fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I'm a dork, but it really does. And now I'm really psyched for the two sport. I think I'm going after those four. I think I talked myself into it. Anybody know?
Any chicken backs? Any chicken backs of those folks?
Well, it is a rare version. I think there's a chance on the 33 Sport Kings Jim Thorpe.
You get a chicken back Thorpe?
I got a shot at a chicken back Jim Thorpe. You're saying there's a chance. I would be excited for that. Babe Diedrichson's cards have to be a fortune.
I just want PSA to make a chicken back collection flip.
Oh, I would retire. I don't know that my collecting world could get any better.
There are some people right now, Danny, that like, what are these two goofballs talking about right now? But yeah,
there's some rare cards that have a rooster stamp that are affectionately known as chicken backs, and I collect them. I have
watch Tops next year. Heck with like a Whopper Fractor. They're gonna come out with they're gonna come out with a chicken back version, modern day.
Right. They did the chicken head. We can do a chicken back.
Yeah. Who knows what's next? Who knows what's next?
So, did you see Dave DeBuscher, another one for the list?
Yeah, he's a big one.
Yeah,
he's a big one. And then you have other ones that aren't like two sports, but they were into acting and they played a professional sport, or they got into politics. They became like a senator.
Bill Bradley.
Right, yeah. So you got a lot of angles you could go in with stuff like that.
It's the chicken fractor.
Chicken fractor. Yeah, the KFC fractor.
Don't degrade my chicken.
You got to get brand. You know that's what they're gonna do if they do a chicken fractor. It's not gonna be just a chicken. Or what about a Popeyes fractor?
I don't know.
Love that fractor at Popeyes.
I'd like to clarify that he was singing that song hours before we went on air. This has nothing to do with this conversation. All right. What other traditions?
How about a Chick-fil-A, but an acetate version? So it'll be a Chick-fil-A acetate.
Chick-fil-A acetate. You leave me speechless. I talk very well all week, and then you say something like that, and I have no way to respond.
It's off the rails. It's off the rails at this point.
It is off the rails. Did I tell you I had a crazy client this week? Great story.
No, go ahead.
Very nice gentleman, very nice family. Must have been 100,000 cards.
Greg Jeffries?
No, luckily it was mostly vintage, but a lot of comments. But you were making me think of the multi-sport players. He was pulling out multi-sport people, and he pulled out a lot of actors. I got to call him. He was working on an actors list.
I got to answer Warren's question. I haven't tried the Blackberry Crown. It sounds great. Now I got to I'll have to check if it's here in the New York area. I didn't even know they made that. I love BlackBerry. Like this could be troublesome.
Well, that's big news for you.
And this could be like your next card matches could be Danny Black and the artist formerly known as John Newman, but acts more like Harry Carey. Like, hey, Danny! How you doing?
Also known as 30 minutes after the show. I want to share one of our new sponsors real quick. Stadium Insurance guys. If you haven't heard of them, they are fantastic. They're a new company that is absolutely changing the way people are insuring their collections. You can add stuff right from your cell phone. Definitely check it out at stadiuminsurance.com. So I'd like to thank them for support.
And I got to tell you, and this about I'm going from BlackBerry Crown and Harry Carey impressions to getting serious here, but if you ship or receive cards of significance, you really need collectibles insurance. I know I've done shows on it, Hobby Quick Hits, right? To insure your cards, even with like USPS postage, they a lot of times will try to fight it or claim it's not worth that. Collectibles insurance is a lot different than your standard post office insurance. And so if you're someone who receives or ships a lot of cards, it's something you definitely should think about if you're not doing it already. So there you go.
There you go. Ruben, John hasn't gotten to the BlackBerry Crown yet.
I don't own it yet. But now I'm off for the next 10 days from school break. So I think I got a mission.
Here's one for you. This is a good question for both of us with our last names. Have we ever considered collecting players with the same last name as you for a project? We both
no. Well, listen, there's Jeff Newman in baseball. Johnny Newman was a basketball player for the Charlotte. So when I had my store, one of my really good customers, this was in the 90s, took like a 1975 Jeff Newman card, and they cut out John from another card, and they put that over the Jeff, and they just taped it. It was just a crude rendition, and they made it a John Newman card. I think I have it in the box. I kept it. It's like I got it in like 93 from a customer, and I kept it for sentimental reasons. So someone made like a Jeff Newman into a John Newman card, and
somewhere there's a Jeff Newman pissed off.
and back in my store days, that was when Johnny Newman was an active player. And so customers who pull, he was not a bad player, but as far as card values goes, he was just, a regular common, if you will. So a lot of times when someone pulled a Johnny Newman, if they opened the packs in the store, they're like, "Here you go. Here's a card of yourself." I'm like, "Yeah, I can see the resemblance. It's uncanny."
Yeah, just like Jack Black is a second.
So somewhere I have a stack of Johnny Newman cards just from people like, "Here you go, God, I got another card of you."
Great, thank you. All right, we're on the home stretch here, Johnny.
So the only other one I can think of to kind of round off my list is, and I only did it for like 4 or 5 years. I would try to open a case of Bowman or a half case of Bowman every year before Bowman like exploded to levels where, they're putting Tom Brady in it. It was $800 a box. When Bowman was sort of affordable,
which product?
I was more into prospect. The Bowman or Bowman Draft.
Okay.
I would try to buy a half case or a case and open it, not like sit on it or keep it sealed or anything like that.
Ruben's doing some research in our research department, and 8 Newmans on Baseball Reference.
None of them are actually me. but I did give up a home run to a Jason Varitek once. That's as close. That's as close to baseball reference as I'll ever.
On Baseball Reference, you can sponsor a page. You need to sponsor either Greg Jeffrey's page or Jason Varitek's page.
Or Jackie Robinson. I sponsored Jackie Robinson's page. This is true. One's taken. Yeah. I sponsored Jackie Robinson for the Baseball Hall of Fame. I sponsored Jackie Robinson's page.
I think that's awesome.
That actually is true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now you make me feel bad when I make fun of you. I'm over it. All right. I'm out of traditions and superstitions. I don't have a ton of them.
I don't even, superstition's a weird word. Maybe.
Well, no. Well, here's one for you.
Superstitions is like, hey, when I go out onto the field, I don't touch the foul lines or the chalk.
Okay, I don't like opening a pack of cards without penny sleeves with me.
Yeah, I get that. But then I think most people probably would agree.
I think only certain collectors. I think most people just open a pack of cards.
I don't know. This is probably what most people do too. If I'm opening a product where the cards are not always the same way, it's like a Rubik's Cube. You get 3 of them this way, then they change. I'll put them all the same way. I do that with money too. So like you get money, I'll get them all facing the same way. So I'm sure that's a little OCD in there as well.
You don't do that with the one insert, do you?
What do you mean the one insert?
If it's only one card turned, like in Flagship?
Yeah, I flip it over, man. They all got to be facing the same way.
Straighten it out right away?
Yeah. Right. I even make my filler card on the glossy side. Also, not hobby related, but when I'm sleeping at night, I flip my pillow over to the colder side.
Cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fuego.
Right. All right, my friend. I think.
Yeah. Hey, we kept it at a reasonable time. We didn't go into overtime. So.
Yep. I'm opening a box. Penny sleeves and a 550 count box is present. Ruben, proper way to do it.
I will say this: I always have penny sleeves like nearby here, but I don't always have the box necessarily. I'll stack them up on my desk, and then get a box and then transfer them. So,
but you got to have the penny sleeves nearby.
You do. I mean, when I hit that win, even though I didn't realize the significant card it actually wound up being, I knew it was halfway decent. You put that in a. You don't, if it falls off the table or the desk or whatever, you don't want to ding the corner. So, also I forgot one more.
Oh yeah.
When I'm trimming my cards, I trim every third one.
You only trim the top left.
Yeah. A little off the top left, please.
Also, something else that. Just advice, and this happened to somebody I know this week. If you send in cards for grading, and this is totally off topic, make sure you don't click to encapsulate if they're not authentic.
I've done that.
Yes, and it's a disappointing look to come back to have the card say that it's evidence of trimming or stuff like that on a slab that you end up just having to break it out.
I've either checked that box or not unchecked it where it's happened. Yep, true story.
Yeah. So it happened to a friend of mine, and very unhappy that they came back in the slab like that. So I just wanted to pass that along.
Oh, here I got another one. I got one. These are coming to me. One more quick one.
Yep.
If I send cards out for grading, my cards, whether it be PSA or SGC, and the grades pop, I look. I know before I ever get them back. I am not surprised. I need to know before I even unbox them when they're here. I know ahead of time. I'm I can't wait for the surprise.
I don't want a surprise. I paid money. I want the answer. I'm like you. As soon as you have the
I will
answer,
tell you this though. I think I told you this off the air. So
Yeah.
I bulk sub. You know, a lot of people know I bulk sub for SGC. 90% of the people that bulk sub through me, and it's a good high number of people, and 90% of that high number of people tell me, and it saves me a lot of work and trouble. So I'm not complaining. But 90% do not want me to tell them what their cards got. They want to find out when I actually hand them their cards. That surprises me that it's that high.
blows me away.
It is. I'm not making that number up. That's like people like, I caught the fish. It was this big. That number is pretty close to. I mean, I'm not charting it, but that like very few people out of my bulk subbers have me tell them what their grades are. The number might even be higher than 90%.
That's Lenny.
Shocking.
Yeah,
it is crazy because I want to know. Like,
that's the whole point.
So when I bulk sub through my guy Rob for PSA, and he'll tell me, he'll like, hey, do you want to know? And I'm like, yeah, let me have it. Hit me. So
Steven says, I don't care if it's a 9 or a 10 as long as
I love that line. I might steal that. I'll give him credit. I'll give you credit, Dr. Mayer, but I love that line.
Yeah. All right, John. Any other last minute
well, we talked about grading. We gotta talk about our, play our sponsor.
We played it in the opening, and I'll play it on the outro.
All right. I missed that.
It's okay.
I had too much Blackberry Crown.
That's what you take away from this episode. 1 hour of entertaining conversation, and you're taking away that there's a new Blackberry Crown.
But listen, I love Blackberry. I love Crown. Like, it's just like acetate. It's the acetate stadium club of drinks. To use a card analogy, if you will.
I'm so happy that we found this drink for you.
Well, I haven't found it yet. Don't put the cart in front of the horse.
This is episode 32. Before episode 33, I just want to share. I don't know if I said it, but I have two boys. They are getting bar mitzvah next weekend. So I am just sharing on Card Mensches that I just could not be more proud of them. And congratulations, and I love them and for all their hard work. And I know they're going to do great up there. And looking forward to that. So the next time I see you guys, I will have 2 bar mitzvah sons to go along with my.
Mazel tov to them, man. That's awesome. That's awesome stuff. It's funny. If you didn't say it, I was gonna. So there you go.
Well, thank you, and as always in this hobby, sorry that you don't live closer, and I'm sorry that a lot of people don't live closer. But I'll get the live stream to you.
This is a really bad joke, and it won't be the last one I say. When I was younger, I kind of wanted to open a bar/restaurant, and I really toyed if I ever did it, just calling the name in the bar mitzvah.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
I wasn't like I never opened a bar or a restaurant, but that's how my mind worked when I thought about it.
That probably led you to the long dark hole to Card Mensches one day.
So this is the next best thing right here.
All right. Say goodnight, John.
Good night, John.